Countdown. Coming at you live from the Smoky Mountain Ghostbusters headquarters, this is the Mass Turbulence Podcast. Good evening and welcome to the Mass Turbulence Podcast, brought to you by the Smoky Mountain Ghostbusters. How are we doing tonight, guys?
Woohoo!
Well, we've got a couple of familiar faces that we haven't seen in a while. We have Luke back with us. I know he's had a couple of wild weeks on him there, and he's finally been able to come back and be on the show with us. How you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back. It's, like you said, it's been a couple busy things going on, but glad to be, especially looking forward to it.
I was extremely excited to see you, man, because you and I have become pretty good friends over the last year or so, and just I had just really been missing you on the podcast, so I'm glad you're with us tonight. And then we got our good buddy Josh Blevins. He's with us, and he's been quite the guy on like TikTok and all that. He's our resident Ernest and now taste tester. Have you tried the other recipe of the ecto cooler?
Yeah. No, I hadn't got to it yet. I'm going to try it hopefully sometime during the week. But yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to do it yet.
But certainly not least, you remember him from one of the episodes, the Rip City, and yeah, I got
Colorado.
it right.
Yeah, you
Colorado
did.
Ghostbusters. I was wanting to say Flip City there.
Hey, we all gone Flip City.
Ghostbusters too. Yeah.
Flip City, I love it.
But you all remember him, and he still holds the record as the guest of our most listened to episode, Jonathan Sims.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the praise, but really it is the show, amazing show, and I'm always honored to be here.
Well, we're certainly glad to have. Especially with the subject matter of tonight's episode. And before we get into that, yeah. You can listen to us on Spotify, Facebook, and live streaming. Watching us right now, obviously, through Facebook and on YouTube. So you have excuse but to consume the Mass Podcast in any possible way.
That's right.
And
if I can do it, you can do it.
If you are a Ghostbusters franchise and would love to be on our show, you can email us at smokymntghostbusters@gmail.com, or you can go to our website and do an inquiry at smokymountainghost.com. So episode is one that we've been kind of batting around a little while, not quite as long as the Women in Ghostbusters episode, but it's been one we've been talking about, and we've been out on the Facebook pages and Twitter.
Hashtag.
And that is #busterverse. The movement.
There it is. Luke's got it up there. I love it.
Now, to some, this might be a controversial episode. Some, this will be a very welcome episode because, the little bit on this subject matter, but we really hope that we can bring everybody together and to get everybody on the same page and realizing that we are not out there to divisiveness among the fandom. I don't mean to feel like I'm just taking over, but I will get this out real quick. The busterverse is honestly a way, in my opinion, to really give everybody their cake and eat it too.
Absolutely.
I mean, the purists have a place. That are absolutely just locked in, love what honestly is called the Ghost Prime universe, and that is the universe that is Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, and Afterlife. Is a place for those who love the 2016 movie, and it gives the ones who, a place for the Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters, and the extreme Ghostbusters. Everybody has a place. It has the ability to cross into the canon, especially if you love the IDW comic books. And I have not seen anybody out there dislike the IDW comics. And so there, I've said it. What are your guys' takes on that?
Well, I mean, to echo and to kind of put that out there, like viewers who are part of any of the groups on Facebook know me very well, because I will go, and as I was telling you guys offline earlier, I've had to block a couple because they and this rumor, when I'm messaging you, and this is what I look like. I'm not angry, raging. I'm not going literally like this. Okay. Okay, and send. So how are you guys? That's how it goes. So all the people out there, they're like, oh my gosh, you're so rage. You're so angry. No, Karen, go ahead, sit down, have a cup of tea. It's okay. Go find some mood slime, soak yourself, take a nice hot bath. It's good. It'll be good. The bathtub will eat you. It'll be fine. But yeah, no, Busterverse is not about exclusion. It is about inclusion. And there are people out there that are the two biggest fights that I always have is why do we have to be like Marvel? The fact of the matter is there. We're already there, guys and gals and people of all stages. The minute that the real Ghostbusters cartoon, multiverse, period. That was it. You guys, okay, another disclaimer. Guys is not a male thing. It is just how I grew up. When we watched the real Ghostbusters, we were already experiencing the multiverse. It's plain and simple. When he used his utterance to Gozer, he to go back to his place of origin, her place of origin, or the nearest convenient parallel dimension. In writing, Dan Aykroyd acknowledges that there is a multiverse, parallel universes equals multiverse. So you don't have to be like, hey, yeah, multiverse, I'm going to buy the sweatshirt and wave the banner and, multiverse everything. But it exists. And it's about guys and gals and kids and dogs and cats living together. It's not mass hysteria. I mean, maybe it is mass hysteria, but maybe it's good mass hysteria because we can live together and we can, like the things we like. And it does to be, they're spitting on my childhood. They're not spitting on your childhood. They're just experiencing the Busterverse in their own.
Right. I remember thinking back when I was like 8 years old, what's on the other side of those doors? Talking, I knew it was another dimension, but I said, I wish we could just see on the other side. And pretty much that's what we're getting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and then if you think about the real Ghostbusters, kind of tongue in cheek alluded to the actual Ghostbusters movie as to being its own separate entity. Because if you go back and look at the episode Take Two, the of itself was based on the lives of Ghostbusters characters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so, and I've gotten into debates with people on this, and they're like, well, then the real Ghostbusters is the only Ghostbusters. Only. Why does it have to be only? That thing, and what confuses me is I don't understand, and maybe you guys can help me out. I don't know when we're saying hashtag Busterverse, suddenly we're making people like choose that you have to accept everything. Hey, that's the point.
I think to go along with kind of start hashtag and put the last time. We really ever board it happens to have a Ghostbusters logo on it. Take that. The only thing that we're pushing is just let people enjoy it. And so
Yeah,
just
exactly.
attack people just because, hey, I like 2016. Well, you're not allowed to like 2016 and be a Ghostbusters fan. I don't get it.
You would think that we were trying the Star Wars Christmas special.
Talk about toxic in the Star Wars Christmas special. Actually, no.
You right in the middle of drinking your water there, John.
I have had a lot of experience with not spewing, so there are some things that I can control it. But yeah, it was a close call. It was a close call. No, the thing Christmas special is you can find bootleg copies of it and use it if you have insomnia. So that's always a good thing. But no, I mean, here's my I mean I don't see the problem. Is it a trope that there are multiverses? Yeah, because comic books reboot characters all the time. If anybody has ever read
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh yeah, well, and that's when they decided to make it part of their lore that there was a multiverse instead of being, this is the reboot of this like the rebooted and Superman is now evil and all this other stuff, and the New 52, like that was a full spectrum reboot. The entirety of Marvel after Infinity War, like Marvel was set, or like the infamous rumor was that Marvel was set to be like, we're getting rid of everything and we're starting over fresh. And guess what? This guy named Thanos comes in, takes out everything. We're going to start over. And went like this. And Marvel went, okay, that was the wrong thing to do. Just kidding. Everybody's back. Yay. You know what I mean? But like comics were okay with it. Star Trek had multiverses. I mean, they have the mirror. Anytime they travel back in time, there's a splinter because they've altered the past. The new JJ, which a lot of people were like, I don't like it because it resets everything. But again, multiverse.
So, are you talking about the Doc Brown paradox in Back to the Future Part 2?
It is a Doc Brown paradox. We live in the time. A buddy of mine Mr. Tom Rain, and I don't know if he's watching you. You're kind of awesome. He did a speech that was for one of his classes. Find it and send it to you guys. But it was about us living in the Lone Pines Mall universe, or the Twin Pines Mall universe, where Doc Brown dies. That's why we don't have, and he goes on to postulate, that's why we don't have flying cars. That's why we don't have futuristic stuff, is because Doc Brown was killed in the Lone Pine, or in the Twin Pines Mall. Like, so the minute Marty went back in time, he created a splinter timeline, which was the Lone Pines Mall timeline, but we're all still in Pines Mall timeline where there is no flying cars and there is no, instant newspapers, and the weather is still not predicted down to the second, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's everywhere.
That's
It's heavy. Why is everything so heavy?
Is there a problem with the gravity in the future?
There is, because when I watched Back to the Future, I was not this shit. As I've gotten older, the gravity's gotten heavier. I'm like this. Eventually, I'll be like this.
One of the things I want to bring off of, we've talked about the effects of the Busterverse with the movies, but I think what we need to move over into and discuss is how the Busterverse is actually affecting each of us, especially those of us that are in Ghostbusters franchises.
Yeah.
What I feel all part of, I mean, we
absolutely
have the Busterverse gives us the ability now to go out if we want our own script and produce it and make a fan film or something. We're able to say, okay, yes, okay, we're not in the same universe as Ghostbusters, but this is our movie, but it kind of helps legitimize the work that the franchises do, or just our charity work and our events and birthday parties and things that we do. We're writing our story, and it's part of that makes us all part of one big family. We're not just separate. I mean, and yes, I know, it's big, but it still kind of gives us that be part of the story.
It's fiction. What? You mean that's not?
I blew his mind.
Accelerator back there? Yeah. Sorry. I can't keep a straight face while saying that. Yeah, the of people, like, there are, I mean, met them when you're out doing appearances, and they're like, so do you guys really have a containment unit? And like, if you built a containment unit, you go, yeah, watch them go. And you meet those people who genuinely, like, you into this realm where they're not quite sure what is real. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, this is a work of fiction, very brilliant fiction. Otherwise, we wouldn't be fans. I mean, let's just establish that. It is a way of us to geek flag fly, and do it in a really cool way. The people who are anti Busterverse, my first question is so, okay, you are anti Busterverse, but I see on your Facebook page that you like the Ghostbusters versus Freddy. That's multiverse, because they Pinkman, Winston, I mean, they play all the main guys, but it's clearly not, Harold Ramis and Bill Murray. And I mean, it's a completely different persona of those characters. And the only way that could happen in the fictional universe is for it multiverse, where, you know, Spangler and Stance weren't born in, you know, they were born in 1985 or 1986 or whenever they happened to their first encounter with Gozer is within their timeline, but then they have to encounter, you know, Freddy Krueger. I mean, I think it's brilliant, and I think it allows having a, like you said, to write your own story and to be able to let those stories play with and do crossovers and do really, really amazing crossovers. There are, I can't tell you how many like steampunk proton packs I've seen that like they are totally steampunked out. Well, if we were to be, you know, strict 1984 is the only Ghostbusters, well, those proton packs then can't exist. And it's just a very limited and narrow view. And I'm understanding that because one of the coolest parts of Answer the Call is the way that they did the tech. And multiple people have said this. I've gotten them to concede to, well, I really the tech of Answer the Call. Sorry, that's mine now. I like the tech of answer the call, but that's it. I just like the tech. Well, okay, but in order to like, at least you're making that concession. And I always thank people. I'm like, well, thank you for making that concession. Accept the fact that cool looking, and it's, I mean, it's right with, you know, it looks like right behind me. You can see, and for those who see, watch the podcast. It's awesome. The YouTube, Skype, hit the like button, donate, become a. So right behind me, you see the classic, and then you see 2016, and I mean they're very different ways of building the exact same thing. I think they're equally cool. Like the synchrotron on this one and the cyclotron on this one. I love them. I think they're amazing.
I mean, you know, the pistols that Holtzman wielded in that scene in the time, I mean,
Right.
that was pretty awesome. I mean, just the whole, you know, that was probably one of the best scenes in that whole movie. If love or hate the movie, just that one shot, that one sequence was a really great sequence.
That was some action in that one scene right there. I mean, it was different, totally different than what, you know, you've seen in the other movies. It's like they're just slinging the ghosts around. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
it's almost like, you know, you watched. I've always been a big Superman fan, and you know, I love the Christopher Reeve movies, but you know, there was never, you know, they were just kind of pushing and stuff, and then finally in Man of Steel, you actually got Superman actually, you know, pounding on Zod.
Oh yeah,
that was something that, you know, you had never seen in a Superman movie, and it's almost kind of like that, almost like that one sequence in Answer the Call feels like is, you know, the Ghostbusters had to be in the original movies were rather in, you know, they took up a stance and they fired at the ghost. It wasn't, you know, this moving around, a lot of action sequence, and I do think that was a very good sequence, and it's a very enjoyable.
Well, and just a little bit of that, and the reason I like life, and I would really like to sit Jason again. Like I spoke with him at length at the Fan Fest, as well as with Paul Feig, are fantastic gentlemen. But I would love to see Jason and just like ask him. There are specific questions I want to ask him, namely, Phoebe is wearing overalls to Holtzman with kind of a purpley shirt, got the glasses. So I want to ask it, are there nods to answer the call in there? Like, Phoebe's outfits, the fact that like the girls in the movie are Finn, the only people who pick up the pack, original guys, are the females, Lucky and Phoebe. Finn's in the in the gunner seat. We all know. I mean, okay, sorry. Nobody's seen the movie. Why are you no, you should definitely watch this and then go see the movie. But there's going to be spoilers. But absolutely go see the movie, like and subscribe to this podcast. So Finn and podcast were having their stuff working, but the girls went toe to toe with Gozer. And it wasn't a station stand-up fight like the original two movies. Like Lucky comes out and she starts firing and she's walking down the steps as she's going. And when Gozer's distracted, Phoebe, starts moving forward until she starts getting pushed back. Like this is kind of the sensibility. I get the feeling that Jason was really, really good about 16 answer the call and really harness that, and in his own way, is trying to bring that notion around that 2016 is not, Ghostbuster killer or the childhood killer that everybody, thinks it is. In fact, I'm going to read this here. This is a quote from Den of Geek, and they had talked to about a multiverse, and they talked to him at the New York Comic Con, and this article is 2021, and it says at New York Comic Con last month, Jason Reitman said he hoped Ghostbusters Afterlife sets the table for all kinds of stories to be told. And during a recent interview, the filmmaker clarifies that he hopes the Ghostbusters franchise can emulate what Marvel Studios has done, the filmmakers, in to build a larger canvas of Ghostbusters stories. And here's the exact quote. You look at Marvel and how they've assembled this incredible roster of directors to tell their own kinds of stories in that universe. I can only imagine the kind of films that we could have mythology if those kinds of filmmakers came to some. And like I was explaining to you guys off camera, offline, before the show, there's a reason Jason was signed on with a 20-year deal as a producer instead of a directorial 20 film deal. And I really truly believe that at the heart of what he wants to do with his vision, because I really feel, I can't help but like Ivan would be really, really pissed about kind of the fracturing that is going on within the fandom, because that's not why he made it. That's not why Dan they made it to inspire people and to share the love of the paranormal, in Dan's case the paranormal, and kind of sharing his childhood, but also the fun of being a ghost, to be a Ghostbuster. Well, I mean, yeah, to be a Ghostbuster. If you don't want to be a Ghostbuster, that's fine, you can be a Ghostbuster. But Marvel's down the hall, everybody wants to be a Ghostbuster, and everybody can. I said in and it still is true today. If you see my car, if you Zool, it is a safe space. As long as you are a Ghostbuster. And if you are getting flack from anybody else, you come to my Ecto and I will set them. You have friends, you have allies, and you have a multiverse to be able to play in. Hashtag Busterverse.
And it's one of those things I really, like I think they did for this to, one, Sony all at us for suiting up franchises, wearing patches, because I have a feeling Dan's like, you guys are not going to say a word, or you're going to deal with me.
I think so.
One, I understand anything they want to do, he has to sign off on. Two, the stories that I have heard about. Well, in last episode, they given the story about the was it the guy from New Jersey?
Yes,
yeah, Chris. He was talking, told the story about he was at a Crystal Skull signing, and Dan was like, "Okay, I want to see my Ghostbusters."
Everybody out. Yeah.
Everybody out. And because he knows what we do for the franchise as much as anything that he can put on paper or whoever else writes on Ghostbusters, can put up, between the films, we're the boot, and that's, I think some, is what the franchises do, because we do the stuff honestly that they can't.
Yeah,
they can't go to kids' birthday parties and things like that.
What?
Well, that was going to be one of the points that I made earlier when you were bringing up franchises. And you were putting on the SWAT suit. You're part of the multiverse, whether you want to be or not. You have their patch on. You have your side. Part of the multiverse.
Absolutely.
Your name's on your uniform. You're part of a separate multiverse than the original 84.
And you don't have to be.
You have to be part of the multiverse.
Well, when you show up to these kids' parties, you don't have to be Dan Aykroyd, Peter Venkman, anybody like that. They just see that proton pack and that No Ghost logo, and you're a Ghostbuster. I mean, that's the way the kids are. It's like,
yep.
I've had kids that actually ask, "Are you really a Ghostbuster?" And I'll look them in the eye and say, "I am as real as you want me to be. I am as a real Ghostbuster as you want me to be."
So I'll give you a couple of.
Anybody can be a Ghostbuster.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple examples from this weekend. We did a family fest out here. It was a kind of a convention type thing of sorts that they produced, and we were down in Colorado Springs. Shout out Ghostbusters. Apparently, they didn't know you guys existed. We set them straight, so we got you back. It's okay. They did. They had no idea we were at the Colorado Springs. They're like, "There's a Colorado Springs." I was like, "Okay, so here's who you contact," and like I set them straight. But we did the family fest, and my daughter, who dresses up, in 2016, and this gal, there was a karaoke booth next, who is trying to sing "Let It Go." She's so great. The first, like, the music started, and she's like, "Let it go." It was like the karaoke guy was like, "There's other words," and her mom's like, so Callie goes over, and she sits down next to her and helps her through the song. The minute the song ended, the girl turned around and goes, "Ghostbuster when I grow up." First words out of like, and that impression is going to her for the rest of her life. And it doesn't matter that my daughter was wearing a uniform and we had a bunch of us in the classic, khaki flight suits. She wanted to be a Ghostbuster, and as far as she knew, my daughter was she had come off the screen and in life to help her sing. One thing that happened is I was helping film a fan film. They wanted to use my ecto for high school project in Louisville, which is a great shout out to Louisville because you guys were awesome. And we were filming on Main Street. Went to stop, and I kid you not, these kids come and they're like, "Can we get your autograph?" And I looked and I said, "Hey guys, they want your autograph," because I was doing the gas, and they were like, "What?" These kids, they're in their flight suits, and I said, "Yeah, welcome to being a Ghostbuster. Go sign some autographs." But did, and they signed their names, and they're like, "Dude, Ghostbuster." It's stuff like that. It doesn't matter. Y'all got to realize, and I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking to your audience at large. Y'all got to realize if you're throwing on the flight suit, you're not only representing you, and we talked about this before, you're not really representing you. You think that you're in a vacuum, you're not. You're representing me, you're representing John, you're representing Luke, you're representing Josh, you're representing my wife, my daughter. You're representing everybody who puts on that flight suit. Somebody somewhere is going to come across me, encounter with you. They're going to think the exact same. Larger than that, you're representing, and it will cost Sony nothing to ring the hammer down on all of us and shut everything down. And it's, can't have fun, please have fun, but just understand that when you are having fun out in public, you are presenting something to the public that is larger than your local group. It is larger than one experience or your one costume or your one convention. It is the entirety of the busterverse representing the interaction that one person has with you. Which is why we are trying to champion, because my experiences put on the uniform, my story is its own thread. Story is its own thread. But we can have Ghostbusters come out to Colorado and we can bring our threads together and have that one meeting point where they meet, crossover, and then they go their separate ways, or they run parallel. It's a message of acceptance and hash.
Well, I have to say one thing. We think your daughter is absolutely awesome. Has decided to cast because she's so good at it.
You guys, she has her own. If I can do a shout out for her, she has her own Twitch stream. It's Callisto Creates, and she does gaming playthroughs. Actually, she is going to do our playthrough. So I'll get you guys information on that. And you
definitely, because I'll need it.
Yes. It's as soon as she gets information on when that launches and stuff, you guys should check out it. Watching somebody go into a total panic when they play games. She's a reason why we watch horror movies with her, because we should sell tickets.
So we do have an announcement we want to make that we have been discussing the Busterverse, and we're talking about all these friends, and that the Smoky Mountain Ghostbusters is going to be coming soon. We're in the infancy, but we are going to be creating a page, be a place where all the Ghostbusters can register and have their contact information. We can actually get to know each other, or if somebody is looking for a Ghostbusters franchise to come and do an event in their area, they can search by, that, whatever, and boom.
I love it.
And that is
Yay!
the a little bit of a screenshot of what is coming soon. It is in its infancy, but the whole plan is, yes, for franchise register and also collaborate, because if somebody there is a great script writer, shoot a movie to save, they can contribute. Somebody else can shoot it. Versus,
Yeah.
we work together. We can all join in on the fun. That is the plan. That is what we are doing, and it is in its infancy. So look for that probably within the next month or so while we are else.
Yay!
That is the big announcement for tonight.
Woohoo! That's a great announcement. Congrats.
And with that, we've also got a forum that we've put together which encapsulate anything that's within the Ghostbuster universe, all the movies, the video games, the comics, prop building, John said franchise stuff, any topic Ghostbuster related. There'll be a community forum in there, safe place to come and discuss with other fans and other people, franchises, and
a lot of us, we're
stop shop
out.
information.
Scattered out on Facebook. Hoping this is going to give us a chance to come together. That is what we are shooting for.
Congratulations, you guys. That's awesome. I am super. I'm humbled that you guys are. I honestly never expected to take off. I really didn't. I just started throwing it around because, John, we talked multiple times about this, and Luke, it's just how I roll. But yeah, no, that's awesome. And gbfans.com is awesome and amazing, but I've been on there multiple times recently, and I can't find any recent links, and so I don't know. I hope if they're listening, reach out to me. Like, let me know if you guys are still doing stuff. Like, I ordered pins, but that's neither here. I would love to be able to go back into some of the archives and see some of the pictures and information. There's a wealth of knowledge there that I think is kind of like become. That's not correct. I'm sure it's still active, but I think social media has kind of like pulled away from the forum. I'm super excited to see you guys bringing that back, because before Facebook took off, gbfans.com was one-stop shop for whatever you needed, but there was a lot of gatekeeping and elitism. One of the things that I do like about the social media, especially in the Ecto Builders group, there is not as anymore. There's like gatekeeping and elitism. Like, there are people who have 59 caddies, and there are people like myself who have a Dodge Magnum. There's somebody in there that's an Ecto, and everybody.
I'd like to see that.
And it's super cool. It's super. I had millions of dollars, I would have like a fleet of Ectos of all different shapes and sizes, because it's awesome. But yeah, no, and it's a community of sharing, and the cool thing is you get every once in a while you get the people that are like, 1684 piece of trash that nobody should have, but their posts are gone and they're no longer weird, and everybody goes, I wonder what happened, and the admins are just like, the reason I brought that up is that I foresee this thing, and that's really kind of the message that we're trying to spread is I got a wealth of graphics, animation, and video experience. I'm kind of cutting my teeth on different aspects of 3D print and stuff like that. So I am a sponge, and I will suck up information and gain brain. I will also happily give brain wrinkles to anybody who wants to know. So
They purposely start in the busterverse with something, and then I've just no need for me more knowledge. Went ahead and taken over.
oh.
So,
Hey.
no, I'll see you tomorrow.
I
I'm glad because I'm not much of an arguer myself. I see an argument, I'm like,
well, you guys know I am exactly the opposite. I go, and my wife blames my astrological sign. I'm a Scorpio, and so apparently I need to like. I know I love to go toe to toe with these guys. For those of you who are listening and who are maybe like getting even angrier, awesome, keep it up, good job. You are yourself, and it's challenging of reality, and I love that. But there's also a making of Ghostbusters, the Ultimate Edition that just came out. Is that reels, behind closed doors, that the reels did, and Dan Aykroyd, Uncle Dan, the co-founder of Everything You See, everything that we do, has a statement for all of you who are like, there is no multiverse, there is no 2016, and there is only one. And I think he really talks about it here, but I think you should watch it, and I think you should take it to heart, because he's talking about you. He's not talking about Luke. He's talking directly about, and it's something to think about. This is the guy that you claim never wanted all this stuff. So,
well,
obviously,
on
from
that,
my point of view, the in the multiple person storyline is you like yeah. People enjoy different things. Just enjoy what they want to enjoy. Let people have fun with it. There's a lot of people on our groups and in our fandom who just attack you for no reason. But the whole reason why I got behind this idea is let people have fun, however they want to do it.
Well, and the reason that I will start arguing with people is because there's a difference between what we're doing, which is, if you great, awesome, if you want to be verbal about it, there's going to be opposition. When we come out and we say, hashtag Busterverse, we know that you guys are out there. It's not like we're saying, oh man, I hope they don't comment. No, every hashtag out, I am pretty much guaranteed that I will get one at me going, 2016 sucks. You can't have to listen. Blah, blah, blah. I know you're out there. I'm not an idiot. I'm allowing you to bring your stuff out, and as long as we don't have a problem. But again, if you don't cut, I should say directly, as long as you don't go, well, a sheep, and you're just into this and blah 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 blah. No, that's not cool. That's not cool. because then you'll get me and we'll get in an argument, and eventually I'll block, and then I don't anymore, and it's no skin off my nose. But yeah, like if you're out of your way, here's what I mean to say. If you're actively going out of your way to make other people miserable because of something they like, that is the anti-busterverse. You know, out of our way saying #busterverse to make you feel like you have to like everything and have to enjoy it. Just open up to the idea that it exists and move on.
Well,
We need to
on that,
just know that just
Exactly.
well,
do what we're gonna do. Go ahead, John.
well, on that comment, because we need. I will say the whole term of the Busterverse is, like we said earlier, was not intended to cause any kind of separation, or
No.
it's not meant to anybody's childhood. It's meant to give everybody a great big sandbox to play in. And
Include
to have
everyone.
Yeah. And
and
a big to continue on that metaphor, give a playground with multiple sandboxes where the one that is to your right, you go to the one to your left, you go to the one center, or you from one to the other to the other to the other. It's okay. And you're not gonna, I'm playing in my sandbox, you want to come play in my sandbox, please do. Please do. The more the merrier. Again, if you're wearing the patch, you're a ghost.
all right, guys. Well, we just want to thank you all for listening to this week's episode, and we hope you enjoyed it. John, thanks for coming out tonight, and you're always welcome on the show. And we hope everybody has a week. Good night, and God bless, my friends.